What's going on, fellow A-plusers? It is I, your Morphinominal host, Adam Perez, back again with a new video today, as we're going to be getting into Zenkaiger episode number 39, if I'm not mistaken. About to go ahead and break into the 40s, guys, as we are counting down to the finale of this particular series. It's going to be here before we know it, guys. Headed straight into the new year. Really looking forward to seeing exactly how this season is certainly going to go ahead and turn out. And it's picking up some steam, I got to admit. I think as we get deeper into the Kaito, Stacey, Hakaiser storyline, we clearly got Bokawas with an overall plan that's kind of getting pushed forward, sort of thing. You know, even though they have hit us with the New World Year, New Year World, I should say, for this particular episode, wasn't too fond in regards to that main storyline in here. But I feel like at least the main story is continuing to build up steam, and hopefully will turn out to be a really fantastic season finale. Again, you guys know my love-hate for this particular season so far. Some things I could really do without, some I certainly have thoroughly enjoyed, but I am fascinated to see how the momentum picks up and really how, I guess, focused they certainly get when it comes to the end of this particular series. So we'll see how it plays out, guys, but we wind up having episode number 39 here today, as we got introduced to New Year World last week with Bond World. New Year World kind of went off on his own thing, let Bond World have a little bit of fun, but now New Year World is back as we're in the process of celebrating Kaito's birthday. Happy birthday, Kaito, turning the big 21. What a monumental birthday this has certainly got to be for Kaito, but short-lived. Doesn't get the opportunity to truly celebrate it so much because New Year World winds up popping up and forces the Zenkaigers to now kind of experience a new year every hour on the hour, sort of thing, right? So it's really the mindset of, you know, throwing away all your worries and troubles that you've certainly had from the years past and really sort of starting anew. So while their mindset very much is on stopping New Year World, every hour on the hour, they sort of forget that they have to stop New Year World and just look to the future instead of looking to the past at some of the things that they certainly had to do. So really intriguing ability for New Year World to certainly have in here, just throwing your worries, your concerns, and troubles away each and every time. And we quickly come to find out that yeah, this isn't going to work out very well whatsoever. It really is up to sort of Ricky, Katana, and even Flint herself to kind of at least let the Zenkaigers know what's going on to them, why they continue to forget about New Year World each and every single time. So fun to certainly that extent, but I've got to admit, when it comes to the resolution to this particular week's episode, the idea to decide to counter that New Year World power by focusing on the fun and sort of having a goal in mind, like almost, it feels almost like they came up with the New Year's resolution to kick this guy's butt, or to at least have fun certainly doing it, instead of necessarily worrying about the past and the concerns and the troubles. It's almost like if they already approached the new year with the mentality of looking forward, then the New Year's ability certainly doesn't work on them. It felt pretty lame. It felt like I mean, look, I'm kind of looking at it as like a New Year's resolution sort of mentality, which everybody certainly has. But it feels like a lame excuse, you know, like I felt like it sort of lacks creativity in my eyes. And so I wish that they kind of maybe tried to attack this a different way, right? Like I think for me, it would have been a little bit more fun to try and see them destroy the villain by the top of the hour, right? Like I love the idea of them trying to having 15 minutes left to go and then having to run to wherever the destination certainly is. It does make me laugh because I'm like, see, this is why we need transportation in the first place, right? Or like a teleportation, I should say, or some maybe type of bike or like car or van that they can certainly drive to wherever they certainly want to go. It always makes me laugh when a Super Sentai team has to run to whatever location certainly is, right? Like, had they exhausted themselves by the time they actually got there? But we quickly see that even within the 15 minutes, they couldn't get to their destination whatsoever, and so the new year wind up starting all over again. So For me, I kind of would have loved to have seen the idea of them trying to defeat this monster within this particular time limit, but instead we kind of get a New Year's resolution to how New Year world winds up coming to an end. So wasn't really the fondest of it, honestly. I truly wasn't. Maybe they'll have a better shot with the theme next year, or next year in the next episode. So we'll see how that turns out. I will say this quick honorable mention, a couple of the gears that they wind up utilizing in this episode. Kyryugers, which I thought was pretty fun. Great way to bring in the new year with some great music, some great dance moves while you're in the middle of kicking some ass. I thought that kind of worked out really well. And the Gokaigers one was pretty fun too, in the sense of them being able to swap out sort of their weapons, right? One of the famous things when it comes to Gokaigers is they always had their sword and their pistol, and sometimes they would switch out with each other. So sometimes double swords, sometimes double pistol sort of thing. So I always thought that was pretty fun to kind of watch. Also, they even utilized the Zenkai cannon in here, which I thought was pretty cool, utilizing more samurai and ninja themes to certainly go along with it. And quick honorable mention too in regards to the Zenkai cannon, the full power eagle wind up returning. It's been a while since I think we've actually seen that utilized. I think maybe only one other time in one episode. So haven't seen it in a minute, but I absolutely love it when it certainly is on screen. So hopefully they use it a little bit more as they go ahead and round off the remainder of this particular season. And they might have to, especially with the brand new Zord that winds up dropping in towards the very end. This definitely looks like what Bokawas and Ijirud and Hakaiser have certainly been planning. So I'm really interested to see exactly what this does. And that does bring me up to my final topic in here in regards to Stacey and Hakaiser, because Stacey is rather curious as to where Ijirud and Hakaiser certainly are at, right? We've kind of seen Bokawas teasing this over the past week or so, giving Ijirud a new plan in regards to doing something with Hakaiser, something that really frightens even Ijirud himself. So Bokawas is bringing out the big guns in here, to certainly say the least. And Stacey's kind of curious as to what's kind of going on, but because of this though, we do find the Tojitendo in a really interesting predicament, right? You've got Gege, who continues to stay face in front of Bokawas, but yet is deciding to continue to go behind his back. This is like the second or third time we've seen Gege do this, decide to go behind Bokawas's back and let Stacey know exactly where Hakaiser and Ijirud's at, saying, hey, they're in the hangar. If you want to go ahead and check it out for yourself, that's exactly where it's at. And even to the point of forcing Stacey to sort of question his loyalty, right? Like leaving it up to him on what Stacey's decision will be in regards to, do you want to take a peek and see what they're doing or not, right? Like understand that if you get caught, what the I guess what the punishment will be for you being sort of a traitor, right? Or going against Overlord Bokawas. So if you get caught, you know what the price is that you're certainly going to have to pay for that. So are you willing to pay for that? Or are you going to be loyal to the Tojitendo? And so I find it interesting and odd that it's Gege that continues to make these decisions to go behind Bokawas's back, because I'm trying to figure out what his motive is, right? Like if it's just Gege with the mindset of, hey, I want to be in Bokawas's situation, right? Like if I want to be Overlord Bokawas, maybe I can get some traitor or two to maybe mess up what Bokawas's plans are, maybe even mess up with Barashitara and Ijirud's doing, so that I'm the only one that Bokawas will pay attention to, right? Or I'm curious if there's something else going on with Bokawas, like, or I should say with Gege. I'm pretty sure Gege's probably very much based off of the designs of Sichin from his parents' design. So I'm wondering if there's some sort of flaw. I'm wondering if there's some sort of like inside coding that's making Gege act this way. If maybe there's a concept of his mom or dad like inside of Gege's data or something like that. Like I have no idea what's going on or what Gege's motives are. but I'm truly fascinated by it. Like, I truly am. And we even get to see Barashitara kind of getting in on it also, realizing that Gege is sort of staying face in front of Bokawas, yet doing other things behind his back. So now that Barashitara knows, I'm really looking forward towards some sort of confrontation, maybe Gege being called out. And I'm sure Bokawas loves everything that Gege does. I highly doubt that Bokawas would even believe Barashitara, to be honest with you. Maybe that's why Gege knows he can kind of get away with murder if that's the case. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't be surprised if Bokawas does something to Barashitara for even questioning Gege's loyalty. But I'm fascinated. I truly am fascinated with it, and it will be interesting to see how this winds up turning out. But when it comes to Stacey, you know, for me, I am kind of curious to see where his loyalty is going to lie. I thought for a second here in this episode, we had New Year World that was begging for people's help, whether that be Stacey or Hakaiser, and nobody came to his aid until the very end, where I thought Stacey was actually going to go ahead and make the decision to finally step aside and actually work with the Hakaiser, and, or I should say Zenkaiger, and the rest of the team. But unfortunately, that certainly didn't happen. Stacey continues to certainly stay loyal to the Tojitendo. So maybe he's just waiting for his moment to certainly pull that trigger, but we'll see what happens when we get to next week's episode, which from the previews alone looks intense. Now that we are in the 40s, it looks as though the writers and maybe the storyline itself is going to be heavily focused certainly going forward, because it looks like a big Hakaiser episode who's looking great. It looks like homeboy even got himself a cape. Looks like maybe even Zenkaiser jumps into another power level to go ahead and maybe take out his father, or try and bring his father back from the brainwashing that's certainly going on top of that sick ass Zord that we wind up having. You know, while I haven't like I said, it's been a love-hate relationship with me and this particular series, some of the Zord designs have been fantastic, like the Zenkaiger, I believe it is, looks fantastic. And I also really love the Hakaiser costume. Even the Stay Caesar costume is great. The Zenkaiser costume is great. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing what this Hakaiser Zord can certainly do. But we'll see. Series picking up momentum, guys. Really interested to see. Again, the New Year World concept, and the, you know, how the resolution to fixing that problem was not a fan of. I really would have loved a more creative way. This felt more like a little bit of a cop-out to me personally. Really weak excuse. But outside of that, the Stacey stuff was fascinating, and I'm looking forward towards the end of this particular series. But guys, look, these are just my A+ opinions. At the end of the day, I want to know yours. What did you guys think about episode number 39 of Zenkaiger? Let your thoughts be known in the live chat or the comment section box below. And until then, guys, do me a big favor. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and keep it A+. I'll talk to you guys later. Full throttle, non-stop. Have a good one, guys. Bye.